the Dog Mom Knits YouTube channel. This is a podcast where I talk about all of my knitting adventures, and today we are here for episode 15. My name is Amanda, and I'm coming to you from coastal Virginia, where I live with my husband Sean and our 3 dogs, Bandit, Copper, and Finley, and our exchange student Daria, who has arrived since the last podcast. You can find me on Instagram as Dog Mom Knits, on Ravelry as Dog Mom Knits 08, and we do have an email address for this podcast, which is dogmomknits@gmail.com. All the links to everything that I talk about, shops, podcasts, knit-alongs, etc., will all be linked in the down bar below. If I forgot anything, please send me an email or leave a comment, and I will get that link for you. I feel woefully out of practice. I did my podcast in the middle of August. I think it went up on August 11th or 10th. Excuse me. And for some reason, I just feel like I don't know what I'm doing. So we're just going to make it up as we go along. That might be because I decided about 5 minutes ago that I was going to go ahead and podcast. Sean had to run an errand. Daria and I are here hanging out with the dogs. And I was like, you know what? It's podcast week and I'm going to go ahead and podcast. So maybe that's what's wrong with me. I don't know. I feel like it's going to be a little bit of a scatterbrained episode. And I apologize for that. I also apologize for the chaos that is the lighting in this episode. I tried to get it to work. But again, Sean's not here to podcast where I from the same place that I did last time would mean moving the couch. And I cannot do that by myself. So I hope it's not too bad. I also really tried to get the camera to be straight, but I feel like I'm still tilted this way a little bit. Again, I tried. I'm sorry. I guess the Team Chaos theme from last episode is just coming over to this episode. I have no clue if I said it. It's episode 15. Today is September 5th. No, it's not. It's September 4th. And it is the Sunday before Labor Day. So it is a long weekend here in the US. A long weekend for me, even though my school is already back. I just had my first full week with my students. And Daria will go back to school on Tuesday, which is very common around here in coastal Virginia, that the students go back on the Tuesday after Labor Day, the first day of school. So let's start with Dog Mom Knits news. So 3 by the Sea and I are hosting a knit along that ends tomorrow. So after this podcast goes up, we will announce the prizes on September 7th or September 8th on Ravelry and Instagram. So if you entered for our Seashell Socks Cal 22 on either Instagram or the Dog Mom Knits Ravelry group, make sure you check out their Instagram page and my Instagram page. And I will send messages on Ravelry for the chatter thread and the FO thread. So if you participated, first of all, thank you so much. Actually, can I just back up? If you are a new viewer, thank you so much for checking out this podcast. I promise I know what I'm doing. I just don't know what I'm doing today. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back to my side of YouTube, my little corner of YouTube, and spending some time with me. I really do appreciate it and appreciate you hanging out and coming back. It means a lot to me. We hit 400 subscribers on the channel, which I think is amazing, and I am in awe. So if you subscribed to the channel and you enjoy the content and you've come back, please know that it just means the world to me that you come back to my little corner and hang out with me. My shirt, you can't read it. It says my coffee needs coffee. And I feel like that today. Again, I apologize for all of the and did I say this? And let me just repeat myself just in case, because I feel like it's just going to be that kind of episode. I'm sorry, you guys. So the knit along ended. It's going to end on Monday, Labor Day. So it'll be after this video before this video goes up. I really am trying to get this stuff right, even though it doesn't sound like it. So with this knit along ending, there's going to be a little bit of a break, but then I have a new pattern coming out on September 22nd, which is the first day of fall, I believe. That's when it's going to go out. It's called the It's Fall Y'all Socks. And I will have a thread open on Ravelry. There's a hashtag that will be included in the pattern, and I can go ahead and tell you that I love mailing people packages. I love sending people things in the mail. So if you knit that pair of socks, just know that there's probably going to be some opportunities for you to get prizes, even though it's not going to be like an official knit along. So I think that's all the Dog Mom Knits news for this episode. So let's go ahead and talk about my one and only finished object that I have for this episode, and that is my August Desert Vista Dyeworks socks. This is the 1949 M&M's colorway. It is like blowing out just this part, so maybe if I just keep it over here. The pattern is the Crunkled Socks by Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears, and I loved that it made the stripes kind of resemble M&M's. In a way. I don't know. It was my first time knitting this pattern and I'm very happy with it. So these are done. Oh, pattern modification. I did the OMG heel by, I believe it's Megan Williams. This is my new favorite heel. I have been doing this on the last maybe 3 pairs of socks. And yeah, I really, really like the way it fits. It's a mock kind of shorter heel flap and gusset. So I like the way a heel flap and gusset looks, but it's a little too loose on my foot. And I like a Fishlet's Kiss heel or like a different one of those short row heels, but they're almost a little too tight on my heel. And I have found that this OMG heel is like a really good in between. So it fits my foot better than, like, it's tighter than a traditional heel flap and gusset, looser than a short row heel, but is a really nice kind of in between. So I think that's why I like that heel. I will still do a traditional heel flap and gusset when I make socks for Sean or for my parents, because the traditional heel flap and gusset fits them very well. But for me, any socks that are for me, I am going to be using the OMG heel for the foreseeable future. So this is my only finished object. I did finish this in the month of August, excuse me, with I think 1 day to spare. So that's good for me. I wasn't down to the wire, which is amazing. But they are posted, they are entered. So I got my August Desert Vista Dyeworks socks done. And again, those are my only finished object, because if you watched the last podcast, I went a little team chaos in the middle of August and cast on 1,000 things. It wasn't 1,000. It just felt like 1,000. Because I was trying to set myself up so that I had a lot of mindless knitting once school started. And that has been so needed. Like, I walk in the door, I grab something that is already at its mindless stage, and I can just sit and knit while Daria and I are watching TV or a movie. And that has been so good. Like, that's that idea, strategy, whatever that I got from Boston Jen, who is that's her handle on Instagram is Boston Jen. It's been really great. So yeah, so let's just use this to transition to whips. So like I said, I do have quite a few projects on the needles, but I'm only going to talk about the ones that are kind of my active whips right now. Things that I have in the like heavy rotation, and not just ones that are kind of hanging out and waiting for me to get to them. So the first one I just started yesterday. These are my Desert Vista Dyeworks socks for September. So you guys haven't seen these yet. I am using I think the colorway is called National Ice Cream Month or National Ice Cream Day. I'm not sure which it is. I will look it up and have it right here with all the other information. But again, I started this yesterday. We went to Richmond, which is about 2 hours from here, to drop off the items that Sean and I are. My husband Sean is a quilter. We both submitted items for the arts and crafts competition at the Virginia State Fair. So we went and dropped those items off. And then we went to the Science Museum of Virginia, which is one of our favorite places to take our exchange students. And this is what I was knitting in the car and while we were walking around the museum. Again, it's Desert Vista Dyeworks National Ice Cream Month or Ice Cream Day. I love it because it's different from the other kind of traditional stripes that she does, because every other stripe is speckled instead of solid. And I just really, really like how these are turning out. These are beautiful. And I got this done yesterday. So I feel like this might be my adventure knitting. That's what we call it when we take Daria out to do things around our area. We call them adventures. And so I might use my Desert Vista Dyeworks socks as my adventure socks. Because I didn't say that, but I'm only doing a vanilla sock on Magic Loop. I will modify that to include the OMG heel by Megan Williams because these are for me. And I did 64 stitches on a US 1.5, which is my traditional sock recipe. And they are in the same bag that all my Desert Vista Dyeworks socks have been in. And that is the Scaredy Cats bag that my husband made me. He's the guy who sews on Instagram and YouTube. And this is one of my favorite bags that he made. And I have been using this for all of my Desert Vista Dyeworks socks this year. So that's my first active whip. My second active whip, I said on the last podcast that I would like this done before school started. That did not happen. But it is the socks that will be released on September 22nd. It's Fall Y'all socks. These are the, the socks that oh my gosh, I love these socks. I still can't believe that this is a pattern that I wrote. It's amazing. I didn't write the lace pattern, but I'm still obsessed with it. It uses a contrast color and a main color to a contrast mini. And it has this beautiful lace detail that looks like falling leaves to me. And then it's just a plain vanilla sock all the way down. This is already in testing. Some of my testers are already finished. They are doing some amazingly beautiful yarn combinations. So check out the hashtag. It's Fall Y'all Socks on Instagram if you want to see some of what they have come up with. They really are beautiful. I am well over halfway through the second one. I just need to knit the foot. That's it. Just knit the foot. It's not what I have been reaching for when I come home from school. I'll show you what I have been reaching for. But I need to just get these done because the pattern's going to come out. They have to be done. Come on, Amanda, get it together. So the last kind of active whip that I have is, I cannot even remember if I had this cast on last time, but I have one sweater on the needles. It's my Lounging Tee by Joji Locatelli. But I decided that I wanted another sweater on the needles. I don't know. And so I bought yarn from Knit Picks. I bought Knit Picks Brava. Wait, let me see. Do I have a tag in here? Yes. I bought Brava worsted weight yarn in the colorway Lady Slipper. and I love it. It is beautiful. I don't know how the color is going to turn. Oh yeah, that's pretty. It's a little less, it's a little more purple in person than it's showing up on the screen. But I just swatched, I think, twice. And I had to go down a needle size, which has never happened in my knitting life. I am such a tight knitter. I always have to go up one or two needle sizes. But for this one, craziness, I had to go down. I had to go down a needle size. I don't know. Thanks. But I am knitting the Weekender by Andrea Mowry. Not the Weekender Light. I'm using worsted weight yarn. So I'm knitting the Weekender, and I won't give too much away, but you kind of knit it inside out, but I'll show you what will be the outside. So this is what I have so far. I am in love. It is just at Mindless Knit. It's a bottom up sweater. So I think I'm knitting around this circumference for 14 inches, I think, for my size. I am knitting the size 6. It's a split hem. So you knit it, you knit the back panel first and then the front panel, and then you join it around. And I did all of the ribbing of the front panel and the back panel in one day. I did it on a Sunday, which is why I can't remember. I think I did not have this cast on last time. I think this was kind of one of those things that I was like, I need to finish the other one first. And then I sat down and swatched on a Saturday, washed it, dried it, re-swatched with smaller needles, washed it, dried it, and then cast on. And I am this far, and this is what I am kind of leaning towards when I come home. Like when I come home from school and my brain hurts and I just want mindless knitting, I just grab my socks and go. Socks. This is not a sock. This is a sweater. Hello, Amanda. Jeez, more coffee, please. I just grab my sweater and go. It has that beautiful detail. I just love it. I'm just loving everything about this project. So, I am going to Rhinebeck in the middle of October. It would be amazing if this could be my Rhinebeck sweater. I don't think there is any chance it will be done for Rhinebeck, but maybe. Unlikely, but maybe. I am keeping this in my one of my project bags from 3 by the Sea. This was from their Ukraine fundraiser. And I absolutely love this bag because it reminds me of my sweet middle daughter, our exchange student who is home in Ukraine. Thank you guys so much for all the prayers and thoughts that you send her way. She appreciates it. I appreciate it. If you watch the live that I did with Kim of 3 by the Sea on, I think it was August 22nd, because Daria arrived on the 23rd. Mary, who is our daughter, our exchange student daughter who lives in Ukraine, her area is being bombed pretty heavily right now. Or it was the last time I talked to her. So if you would pray for her, if you could just send good thoughts to her, towards her, to her area, to her family, to their whole country, it would be really, really appreciated. So those are the only 3 active whips that I have. So I'm going to go ahead and go into acquisitions. My first acquisition that I'm going to show you is a bag. It's not a... Did I show this on the last podcast? I have no idea. It was still in my podcast box. So I got this on the last summer sock camp update from the Crazy Sock Lady. It's a bag from Mountain State Stitches. And I love this bag. I love all of Jenny's bags, but this one with the socks on the clothesline and the clothesline that makes a little heart right there. I just thought this was so fun. And then she has the pink interior that is polka dots, and I just loved it. So I wasn't going to get anything specifically for summer stock camp outside of the pin that I got at the beginning of the summer. But if Jenny has a bag update, it's pretty much guaranteed that I'm going to get one. So yeah, not sure which socks are going to go in this moving forward, but I have it. It's ready. I also did a yarn swap through the Love and Stitches membership, which I am a part of. My partner and I swapped a 100 gram fingering weight skein of yarn, and I love the color purple. Duh. Anybody who watches this channel knows that. And so she sent me this skein of Hawthorne fingering weight yarn from Knit Picks, and the colorway is... Does it have a colorway name? Is it just Ashland Tonal hand painted? Maybe that's the colorway. I don't know. But it is this gorgeous purple. And I was thinking that I would set this aside and maybe use it for the Stephen West Mystery Knit Along. But now that he has released the colors, or the color ideas that he has in his kits, you need two skeins of a main color, 2 skeins of a contrast color, and 1 accent color. And I only have 1 of these. So this is going to hang out and wait until I have something really special that I want to do with that. Also in the Love and Stitches membership, someone was destashing this skein of yarn, which I just fell in love with. It's so beautiful, that green with that white. And it is, hold on. From Chameleon Colorworks, Dyeworks, and Fiber Studio. It's 100% superwash merino sock weight yarn, 360 yards to 4.2 ounces. It is a thicker fingering weight yarn. I just loved this so much. It's just so beautiful. And I might knit socks with it. Nope, I won't knit socks with it because it's 100% superwash merino. But I could see this being an absolutely beautiful muscle burrow hat. So I might be, I think my original, sorry, I dropped its bag. I think my original idea was to pair this with one of the greenish blue yarns that I got in another swap through the Love and Stitches membership. But I have actually pulled that yarn to be the accent color of my for the Stephen West Mystery Knit Along. So this is going to just go into stash for now. But I really think this would make a beautiful muscle burrow hat. And if Daria, our foreign exchange student, who is sitting right there in front of me, watching me talk to myself to the camera because she doesn't think her host mom is weird enough yet. Maybe she needs a winter hat. And with her gorgeous brown hair and brown eyes, Yes, brown eyes. I was right. I was second guessing myself. This would actually look beautiful as a muscle burrow hat for her. Maybe I need to cast this on, and because I need one more thing. Maybe I need to cast this on and surprise her with it for Christmas, even though she's sitting right in front of me and hearing me talk about it. Note to self. Cast this on for Daria. Cast a muscle burrow hat on for Daria using this yarn. Future self. Do the things. And then put it in her stocking and pretend like she didn't hear you talk about it. I also, through the Love and Stitches membership, participated in a how to make your knitted sweaters fit, how to make sure your knitted sweaters are going to fit class that was hosted by Christina, who is, I think she's Whiskey Girl Knits on Instagram. I'll have her information down here. And she did some kind of giveaways while she was doing that Zoom class. And I thought that was so sweet of her. And so she sent me this beautiful skein of yarn. It is so bright and so fun, and it is actually coming out true to color, except these purples. Like, look at those purples and grays. Oh my goodness. This is Jitterbug yarn. It is 400 yards. It's 100% superwash merino, I believe. 100% merino wool. It's not superwash. 100% merino wool. And the colorway is, I don't know. It looks like the stamp may have kind of faded a little bit, but that's what it says the colorway is. I don't know. It says on the, it says pattern, free pattern overleaf. So I'm wondering if I take this off. Let's try it and see what happens. Oh, it comes with a simple sock pattern. I think this is going to be a hat. And I might do, if I have enough, I might do a hat and a pair of fingerless mitts for myself for this winter. If I have enough. 400 yards, we'll see. But that's kind of what I'm thinking for this. What else? I have another skein of Desert Vista Dyeworks yarn because I don't have enough. I apologize for the crinkling. I haven't taken it out yet. I don't have enough to get me through the year. I needed to order 2 more skeins. So I ordered this one, and just today I ordered another skein because she's doing an amazing 11-year anniversary sale that I think goes through September 11th. So if you have not, like, if you're interested and you want some Desert Vista Dyeworks yarn, now is the time. But I got this colorway. It's actually one of her Christmas colorways, which I think is really cool because it doesn't like scream Christmas. It's called, it's a gradient speckled Christmas. And the inspiration color, or excuse me, the inspiration picture was like a white Christmas tree with like beautiful Christmas lights. And I love that it's more speckled than striped, just because it'll be a little different. It's just really cool. I'm really excited. My last acquisition is from 3 by the Sea Designs. No great surprise. If they tell me that they're putting things on clearance and they're having a sale, I'm going to buy it because that's what I do. So I bought this teapot and teacup stitch marker set, which I thought was just so much fun. And I got this scone, I believe it is. A fruit jam scone. Finley. Oh, Finley and Bandit. I thought maybe Sean was home, but he's not. So I don't know if they were barking at a cat or a squirrel, or knowing Finley, it could be nothing. Oh, you want to come sit with mommy while she does her life stuff? So that's it for knitting content. I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit of life stuff. So if you are not here for that, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And I will see you in 2 weeks for the next episode. If you are staying for the life stuff, our foreign exchange student I mentioned, Daria, is here. She is from North Macedonia, and she will be with us until June. She is a junior at our local high school. School starts on Tuesday, and she will be taking, hold on, let me see if I remember, Algebra 2, Theater, Culinary, Intro to Culinary, and Honors Biology. We went and met with a counselor to get her schedule set up, and she kept picking all of these really hard classes. And I was like, girlfriend, pick something fun. And then she just made her host mom so happy when, with no prompting from me whatsoever, she picked theater. So I get to direct the show at school and live my best theater teacher life at school. And then I get to come home and be a theater mom. It's just going to be really fun around this house for a while. And I'm excited. As I mentioned earlier, school started for me. So my teacher days, in-service days were going or getting ready to start, I think, when I recorded my last podcast. I got through those. They were amazing. I like being back at school. It eats into my knitting time, but I really do love my job. My students have been back for 6 days. We had our first full week together last week, and I love them. They just bring me so much joy and make me so happy. And I am so grateful for them and for their parents and for my colleagues and for the joy that is my job. I'm just grateful for it. I have been I'm still reading the Knit and Nibble series by Peggy Earhart. I started book 5 last night. Book 4 wasn't my favorite. I'm going to read book 5, but if it's still a little meh, then I'll stop reading that series for a while and move on to something else, but I'm not sure what. I'm kind of undecided about what my next book should be. So if you have any suggestions, I would love a comment with what I should read next. I was watching Virgin River last time I podcasted. I finished that. I finished the current season of Murdoch Mysteries. So that was amazing. Oh my gosh, the cliffhanger. Who was it? I have a pretty good idea. Well, I don't have a pretty good idea. I feel like I have a good guess. And so to avoid spoilers, if you are a Murdoch Mysteries fan and you have an idea of who you think the cliffhanger is, send me a DM on Instagram, because I would love to hear your thoughts and I would love to share my thoughts, because like I said, I think I might know, but I'm always wrong anyway. So send me a DM, send me your thoughts. And if you watch Virgin River and you have a good idea of who that cliffhanger is, send me a DM on Instagram so that we avoid spoilers in the comments. I wasn't sure until I talked to somebody on Instagram about it, and I was like, oh, that would be interesting if that's who it was. So I'm kind of leaning towards just, stealing her idea, giving her credit, but stealing it and, saying what she told me. So Virgin River, cliffhanger, Murdoch Mysteries, cliffhanger. Send me a DM over on Instagram if you have thoughts, because I would love to talk about it. Daria and I have been watching Gilmore Girls. Both of us have seen it before, and but it's really fun watching it together and talking about it. So Finley has to go outside. Of course she does. I have also so one of the traditions, I guess, that I started with our first foreign exchange student is on Saturday nights, we have American movie night. And so I show her, we watch together some kind of iconic American movies. She had already seen The Breakfast Club, which is usually what I start with. So we watched 16 Candles, still kept it, Molly Ringwald, John Hughes. That was last Saturday. Last night we watched The Wizard of Oz, because I am realizing, as we have more students, that is a very American movie. None of our exchange students had ever seen it. So Daria and I watched it last night. She said she enjoyed it, which is amazing. And then I found out that she hasn't seen The Princess Bride either. So we're going to watch that tonight. Because neither of us has school tomorrow, so we can watch a movie on a Sunday night. And we are going to DC. We're going to go to Washington, DC soon. That's really exciting. We have plans to go to the state fair at the end of September. And then, as I said earlier, I am going to Rhinebeck. Sean and Daria are coming with me to the area, but they're not going to be going to the festival. They're going to go off and do their own thing and explore upstate New York while my best friend Jen and I do all the yarn shopping. I think that's it. We have just been getting to know Daria, and school's been getting back in session. So there's been a lot of life stuff, not a lot of knitting stuff, but that's okay. Because it's pretty fun life stuff. So I'm excited about it. And I'm looking at my podcast box and it is empty. And I'm looking at my notes and they are done. So I think that's it for episode 15. Thank you so much for watching. I will be back in 2 weeks to do kind of my mid-month update on how my knitting is going for the month of September. And I will include some of our adventures that we've had with Daria when I come back in 2 weeks. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. I read and comment, I read and reply to every comment. I appreciate every subscriber so very much. Thank you guys for being a part of my community, for blessing me and my family as you do. It is impossible to say how much you are loved and appreciated. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you on the next one. Happy knitting.